Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a most marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, today we're going to talk about the breakup of a celebrity marriage. This distinguished looking young woman is named Idina Menzel, and she is the ex-wife of actor Taye Diggs. The two of them were married from 2003 until they divorced in 2014. And they also are the parents of a son named Walker. Now, the reason I'm talking about this today is because Idina went on a podcast hosted by Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and she shared some of her feelings about why her marriage to Taye Diggs didn't succeed. This interview has been shared on social media, and this headline says, Idina Menzel says criticism over interracial aspect of marriage to Taye Diggs impacted relationship. It seemed like there was disappointment in the community with him because he was married to a little white Jewish girl, the actress said. Okay, so she's talking about the black community. This BuzzFeed headline says, Idina Menzel opened up about the struggles she and Taye Diggs faced for their interracial marriage and feeling that she was living in his shadow. She was on this podcast on Spotify, Dinners on Me, with the host Jesse Tyler Ferguson. And she was talking about her relationship with Taye Diggs. They're both actors, and they met while they were doing a play in New York on Broadway or off Broadway. Anyway, they were doing a play. They were doing theater together. It's very complicated, she said. I mean, we're very supportive of each other. Always. I'm so excited for him. The thing that came into play more, and he's talked about it too, is the interracial aspect of it. So she's talking about the interracial aspect of their marriage, which has been over for 9 or 10 years, and she's still talking about it. She goes on to explain, because when you're in the theater, it's just not a thing. Like, we all love each other and sleep with each other and are best friends with whoever wants to be. But by the time they got married in 2003, Taye's career had blown up, seeing immense success on the small screen in feature films and on Broadway. So his career took off before hers. Now this is where the problem came in. When you leave that cocoon, she says, that cocoon of the theater, from what I understand, it's a very small, close-knit group of people that do Broadway. So she says that by the time you leave that cocoon, and now, in Taye's case, he's on the cover of Essence and Ebony and being interviewed by all these black journalists, and I think he had his own stuff to deal with, she said. Well, of course he had his own stuff to deal with. Everybody has their own stuff to deal with. She goes on to say, and it seemed like there was disappointment in the community with him because he was married to a white Jewish girl from some show we don't even remember. And so I took that on too, she added. That's stuff that we had to deal with. It was less about being successful and more about that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, when you're in an interracial marriage, especially to a black American man who's really making his career off of black culture and being in movies with black women. So that's what the culture expects to see in real life. And I think that would be the case for any race, not just black people. The All-American star has also commented on the backlash he received for marrying a white woman and the resentment that later built up inside him. I can't imagine what he would have been resentful for. He knows how this is done. He knows how black people feel and how white people feel. In this whole article, I found it very interesting that the responsibility or the blame was put on black people about that interracial marriage. Are we still living in America? Are black people the only people that are against interracial marriage? Black people have been and are more accepting of interracial marriage than any other group of people. It has only been recently that black people have started complaining about giving away wealth to other groups of people and having no generational wealth to pass down. Other races of people, including white people, have never made a secret of the fact that they did not want their children or their people intermarrying with black people. I don't even know where this woman has been. Taye Diggs was probably also feeling some of that from white people, probably from some of her family. And also, there are a lot of black people in Hollywood and New York, especially in the movie industry and the entertainment industry, period, and in the sports world, that are married to white people. So the reason their marriage didn't work is because they didn't make it work. Because if they were the only interracial couple, then you could get it. You could understand it. There are plenty of interracial couples. So the reason your marriage doesn't work is because of you, not other people. And what she's also probably not acknowledging is the jealousy that she felt with the ladies that he was paired with in those movies. Taye Diggs was acting opposite very beautiful black women. Sanaa Lathan for one, and Nia Long, and some others I'm sure. But those are two that come to mind. And she's not acknowledging that she was probably jealous. So she admits that there were times when she felt like she was living in his shadows because his career was more successful. So that was a part of their problem. When they walked the red carpet together, the photographers would ask her to step out of the picture so that he could be photographed by himself. See? That would be a problem, I would think. But, she is an accomplished actress in her own right. But he was more successful than she was. And she also probably felt some resentment that he was more successful than she. But her career has taken off now. Idina Menzel is very successful. She's a very good vocalist. She won some kind of award for the movie Frozen. So her ship came in. She's very successful now. So when she finally landed the leading role of Elphaba in Wicked on Broadway, she believed there was a sense of relief from both of them. Okay? He was relieved, probably when I got attention for Wicked, and happy and proud of me. He was always so supportive and blah, 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 blah. After 10 years of marriage, Idina and Taye separated in 2013 and eventually finalized their divorce in 2014. The split was amicable and they've remained supportive of each other ever since. So what this was about is her sly way trying to blame black people for her marriage not working out with Taye Diggs. But I think that's a cop-out because there are a number of interracial marriages in the United States. And I think it's kind of common knowledge that there are challenges that go along with interracial marriage. There are challenges that go along with any marriage. And the only reason anybody's marriage doesn't work is because they don't want it to work. It has to do with your level of commitment and how much you're willing to put into your marriage. 10 years is not a bad run. But she's wasting her time blaming black people because Taye Diggs' career really was a black culture-centered career. And he divorced her and gone on with April Jones, some black woman, I think. This is the United States of America in the 2000s. So this is the best time to make an interracial marriage work. And she doesn't want to acknowledge that he probably wanted out of that marriage. That is what's not being acknowledged. Probably. So if they made that marriage work for 10 years, that's pretty good. And here it is 10 years later. Time to let it go, because apparently she's moved on and married somebody else. So that marriage to Taye Diggs was just, they tried it and it didn't work. But it's really not fair to blame it on other people. If you choose somebody and you want to be married to that person, you have to make a decision about whether or not that marriage is going to work. It has nothing to do with black people, because if you know anything about the United States at all, you know that there is kind of a little friction going on between black and white people most of the time. And everybody is not going to rearrange their lives to accommodate you when you went out and married somebody that they didn't like. Your marriage, your problem. You decide what your marriage is going to be, whether it will fail or whether it will succeed. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.